All right. I always want to give it a second to actually go live. And if anybody wants to join us,
It's been so long since we've been live.
I know.
It's been like a month and something, right?
Over a month, I think. Because I think the last live was for, I guess, our August book, right? We didn't do a September.
I thought we did do one in September.
No. We canceled
What?
it.
So we didn't go live for 2 months?
Yeah.
No, you're lying. You're
I'm not.
lying.
Remember, because I was like crazy busy in September, and then you said you were pretty busy too, and so like we just canceled. We were gonna read Dangerous by Minerva Spencer.
No, our live was on September 2nd. Nighthawk with Beverly Jenkins.
But still, it's been 2 months.
Now it's now
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So glad that you guys have joined us. We have 2 people watching so far. So yeah, we were just talking about like the last time we went live.
Yeah.
2 months ago. It's been a while. And then poor Lisa. Lisa has a cold.
Yeah, I do. So I'll just be coughing the entire show. So like just give me a moment. Hello.
Hey y'all. Hey Linda. So yeah, we were just talking about how with After Midnight, Teresa Medeiros must have gotten the rights back. I don't know, but like you can't get the ebook anymore on Kindle, the US Kindle store. So I'm sorry about that. Like that it's not as accessible. It wasn't as accessible as I thought it was. Yeah. And then the new cover for it is bad. It's a bad. Let me get it. I'm gonna give.
It's like curly hair, blonde when he's supposed to be like dark haired and like mysterious.
Well, no, he has like honey blonde hair. He's got like tawny colored hair.
Okay.
It's Julian. Julian has like black hair.
But... Okay, well then the artist of the step back person didn't really do a good job now, did he?
Well, this cover is not bad. I just saw this cover. This is not the worst cover I've ever seen.
Oh, that's not the cover that I saw.
That's not the cover. I know. Yeah, I find it's the bad cover. Let's see. I wonder if I'll have to go on. I think I'll probably have to like go on Amazon to find that cover.
Go on Google.
But while I'm finding this cover, because it is worth seeing. How is everyone doing? What are you guys currently reading?
I actually jumped right into another historical romance. I was in a reading slump for the whole month of October, so I barely read anything at all. So that's why I was like messaging Rachel going like, I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish a book because now I have to physically read a book while I'm in a reading slump. And I was like, oh guys, like this is a toss up. We don't know how long it's going to take. So I started like 1 week. It took me 1 week to finish this, but I did majority of the reading on like Friday and Saturday. So that was good. And then I think like it rekindled my love for reading. So I just jumped right into a new an old historical romance, and it's called Lilacs on Lace.
Oh, that's a beautiful cover. Oh my God, look at that.
I know, and it's a Scottish Highlander romance, and yeah, it's really good so far. I mean, like I wouldn't say it's like really good, but it's kept me interested. I read 140 pages today. For someone with a reading slump, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Here's the bad cover we were talking about.
Yeah, the curly hair.
But like that is clearly a bad wig on this dude.
Yeah. Like his curls were not brushed out properly.
It's so bad. Why? Okay, I do not understand. Historical romances that like whether it's the author getting the rights back or whatever, they have this is a very pretty cover, you know? Yeah. And then they go from this to like, what is that? And then it reminds me of Lady Sophia's Lover by Lisa Kleypas. The original cover is beautiful, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they changed it to that cover with just the dude's face.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. The One, I love that book. Lisa, have you read that? The one
No,
by
I have
John
the
Myers?
audiobook because I watched one of your videos and you said like this was such a great thriller novel. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna download this book. But literally, you made that video probably like a year and a bit ago, and I still never listened to it yet. So I will soon.
Yeah. So I highly recommend those of you out there, even if you're not someone who like thinks that they enjoy thrillers, the one is really great because there are like romantic elements, but then also there's another book by John Mars called The Passengers, which takes place in the exact same world. It's like a
Wow.
futuristic world, I guess, very much like our own. But there's just like interesting technology going on. And like his books keep you on the edge of your seat because they're short chapters, but you're in like multiple POVs. And so like at the end of every chapter, there's like a small plot twist. It just keeps you reading because like the story is just so interesting. So yeah. I need to read this still, Linda. I still
What's
need to read
Forever
it.
Your Rogue?
That's by Aaron Langston. The audiobook recently
Mm.
came out. So I have no excuse now. I have no
Oh.
excuse.
Have I seen this book before? Wow, 4.3-star rating.
Yeah. Some Winter's Evening is by the same author.
I think this is the book that you brought up one time for our group pick, and I told you 400 something pages.
Yeah,
And
but the
I was like,
audiobook is out now.
well, the audio is out now.
The audio's
Okay.
out. The audio's
Okay.
out. I mean, we should probably read it in November. You know. I liked that. Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I liked
I
it.
never read this one yet.
This is the cover with all the flowers on it.
Yeah.
It was good. The audiobook was really, really good.
I have the special edition from Afterlight of the Julie Soto book. Just never read it.
Mm-hmm. I am currently reading a Dramini fanfic as well. I'm currently reading it's Hot for Teacher, and I found an audiobook for it on
What?
Spotify. Like, yes, that is the thing with fan fictions. You have to look them up on Spotify to see if like an audiobook podcaster made an audiobook for it. Like there's so many Dramini fanfics that I have found audiobooks for, and it has changed.
On Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify.
That's amazing.
Yep. 45 pages left. Okay. So I'll let you know when the spoilers come.
Yeah.
Although I think by the 45 page mark, you know the main plot twist of this book. But yeah. After Midnight has got me wanting. Well, and I recently rewatched Crimson Peak. And so now I'm just in a historical romance mood. Like I need to read all of them. And this perfectly fits the vibe of Crimson Peak too, because it's like gothic and paranormal and stuff. But,
yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm definitely in a historical mood for sure.
They filmed Crimson Peak in Toronto, and I was on set.
Did they?
I wasn't on set. I was outside of the set of like the Castle Loma is the castle that they filmed in, or parts of it. And I was waiting outside in the rain, in the cold, waiting for Tom Hiddleston to come out because I was such a huge fan back then. But he didn't come out. So
did you see any of the cast? Do you recall seeing any of the cast?
I think one of the girls, I don't know who, but like one of the girls came out and I had left already, but then like somebody like tweeted it or like was on Tumblr and talked about it. But like one of the girls in the cast, I don't think she's the main one, but she was really catty and she was like she was just like, you guys are so silly. Like, why are you guys waiting outside this long for Tom Hiddleston? He's not going to come out until like midnight. And then like he was just like, you know, making fun of the fans. And then everybody was like, who are you? Like, you're not even a famous actress. You're just like here for a small role. Yeah.
Dead. That's so funny. Really want to get back into the historical mood, but it feels like there aren't any new releases. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I have definitely in general been a lot more excited with like indie romance releases, and the majority of indie is contemporary, you know? So I agree. I read that yesterday.
Don't tell me anything about it because I just got it.
That cover.
Right?
Yeah.
Wait, okay, hold on. Tell me if you liked it.
I liked it.
Okay.
Well, because like with Sophie Jordan, a majority of the books I've read by her, they're like solid 4-star books. I've never read a 5-star from her, but like her historicals are good if you want to just read something that you don't have to think about.
Yeah.
You don't have to like, you can just passively listen to it or read it.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked it a lot. That one is about, it's a housekeeper and a duke, the duke that she works for.
I'm excited for it because like Sophie writes really like sensual and like chemistry filled scenes, and I can always count on that from her. So
Yeah, this one was good. I think I did enjoy the previous book a little bit more.
Yeah.
The one with the blacksmith. But
Yeah, The Scoundrel Falls Hard.
I liked that one a little bit
Yeah,
more.
that one was really good. I like that one.
Yeah. Listen, I have given up hope. At this point, I have given up hope. Until Avon gives me something to hope for, I've given up. Like,
yeah, we're just gonna sit here in patience.
Because I follow Tessa on Twitter, or X as it is now, and like she's just tweeting about just like random shit. She has not tweeted about writing in months. Like, so I have no hope. I don't know what's going on with her, but does anyone know about a winter set historical that isn't centered around Christmas? I don't mind if the holidays go by in the book, as long as it's not the main plot. One that comes to mind is The Earl Takes All by Lorraine Heath, because there is a Christmas scene in the book, but I think for the most part it's kind of set around the winter, or maybe just throughout like the whole year. So it doesn't really center around Christmas, but there is a really great Christmas scene. And then I'm trying to think of other like winter, I don't know. I'm sure some would pop into my mind if I really thought about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of any. I remember reading something recently that had Christmas in it. That wasn't the main theme. It might actually be, I don't know. Somebody fact checked me, but Texas Splendor by Lorraine Heath, the Western romance.
Oh, I still have not continued on with that series. I've only read book one.
I finished it. I finally finished it. It took me a whole month to finish 3 books, which is not great.
Nah. What did you think of the other?
Honestly, average rating was like a 3 stars. Like it was just kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
But that was like a favorite series out of like a lot of people really like that series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I liked book one well enough, but like there were a lot of parts it was slow a lot of
yeah.
You know?
I was dying.
I think I did give it 4 stars, but yeah.
I gave it 2.5, and then I reread it again this year, and I gave it a 3 because I was being more lenient with it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and talk about After Midnight? For those of you that haven't read the book, I'll just give a basic premise. So this is book 1 in the Cabot duet. Book 2 is The Vampire Who Loved Me. And that is the romance between other characters that I just can't talk about the plot of that one because it would spoil part of this one. But we have Caroline, our heroine. She is the eldest of 3 sisters, and she's been taking care of them for at least the last few years since their parents passed away. And so now we're seeing that the middle sister, Vivienne, is being courted by Adrian, who is a Viscount. But there's been these rumors going around town that Adrian may or may not be a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And so now Caroline just wants to know what the heck is going on with this dude. And so that's kind of the main plot. And so it's a romance between her and this Viscount. That's why the plot of this reminds me a little bit of The Viscount Who Loved Me by Julia Quinn, because you got the same plot of like the hero is courting her younger sister, but they end up falling for each other. But yeah, so I read this for the first time. I believe it was like 2021 or something like that. And that was because the Rake Appreciation Society picked this for their book club pick. And so I did not know what I was getting into when I read this for the first time, but I ended up really loving it. By the way, here's the step back. Very dramatic.
Very pretty.
So yeah, this is like the epitome of a gothic paranormal historical romance to me. And so I just really wanted to reread it anyway. And so that's why I pitched it to Lisa to read it for our book club. So Lisa, I'm dying to know your thoughts since this was your first time reading it.
Yeah. It's not my first Teresa Medeiros book. Like I read a lot of her books this year. It's like insane how many I've ever read. It's insane to me because I physically had to read them since she has very little audiobooks available.
She only has 2 audiobooks. I know.
Yeah. And I read those already. So I'm just like, okay, I'm done. So I had to go through her other books and I really enjoy her writing. I feel like her writing is just spectacular. Like it's very descriptive. It's like there's this sense of poetry to it. Like the way that she describes like the environment is so creative. It's so vivid in detail. It's so good. And so for the first part of the book, it started off, I have to admit, a little bit slow because we were getting to know the sisters because it's about 3 sisters. We're getting to know our main heroine, Caroline, and we didn't really know what was happening. I never read the back actually, so I just kind of walked in blind. So I didn't know that our hero was suspected of becoming like a dark like a dark paranormal character. So I didn't know what was happening until it slowly started getting revealed that there is something sinister about him and that like Caroline's younger sister Portia was actually like kind of correct in saying that like he might be a vampire, and then that's when she gets spooked. And then like honestly, the last like maybe like from 50% onwards, I fell in love with it. I really enjoyed the like just like the scenes where Caroline and what's his name? Adrian's like, you know, like their scenes. I felt like that he was so dark and mysterious, but then at the same time, he's just like so loving, and he was like not afraid to confess his feelings for her so easily and so sweetly. And I don't know, I just really liked it. And then obviously like towards the end when we get like the shocking reveal of like who is the actual vampire, it was where I was just like, oh, so vampires are actually a thing. Like this is a paranormal historical romance. This entire time I thought it was just like a gothic, you know, historical romance, but then it actually has paranormal elements to it. So I told Rachel this, but I ordered the second book right after I finished the first book because I wanted to hear about the second part of the story. So yeah, overall rating 4 out of 5.
Great. Yeah. Would you say that like is this among your favorite Teresa Medeiros books, or maybe not necessarily?
It's not one of my favorites because oh my god, sorry. Let me do some research. Let me find the one that I really, really liked from her. I think it's like something with a kiss or something. Let me see.
I totally agree, Lisa, with what you said about her writing. There is something, you know, you and I have talked about this. I've talked about this so much on my channel that like nowadays I usually need the audiobook because of like my life, like I have a full-time job, and like it's usually such a chore for me to have to just read something physically. So the fact that I didn't mind reading this just physically, like really should tell you something about how I felt like the writing just flows so well, and you want to keep reading, even though these chapters are kind of long. But like, I just couldn't help but just keep going and getting more and more invested in the story, even upon reread. But yeah, like you were saying, the first time reading it, I love how she wrote this in terms of like, okay, is this paranormal? Like you don't really know until very late into the book. Right? And I remember when I read it for the first time, there was a point where I was like, please make it paranormal. I feel like it's lame if it's not, you know, like it'd be like a pop out, but like also you really didn't know. Like she just did such a good job of like dropping hints, but also you just didn't know, right? This is I agree. I felt like I was there. Like I truly felt like I was there. And so while I was reading this, I put on like an ambience video on the TV of like, you know, like a gothic kind of atmosphere, and that just further immersed me into the story. Like I really felt like I was there. So yeah, I mean her writing is everything. Also, like I love Adrian. I don't know what specifically about him.
I like him too.
Yeah, like
I think he's just tall, muscular, protective, and he's like caring, and I think that's what makes me like really like the dynamic. Like that's all I
yeah.
need in a fictional character, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I love that like they're both the eldest siblings, and so like they can really relate in
Yeah.
terms of they both have had to take care of their siblings for years, and they both would go to the ends of the earth for their siblings. You know, they're both fiercely protective people. And so that alone makes Adrian a very endearing character. And like, yeah, there's something about like he just feels very magnetic to
Yeah.
me. That like you can't help but fall for him like Caroline does.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't and like you said, from the second half on
Yeah.
is when you really see like how much this man has fallen for her. And
Mhm.
like there's so many like amazing and like heart-wrenching moments.
Mhm.
Like one that is gonna live in my head rent free from now on is like when he puts the steak in her hand and he's like,
Mm.
"Don't stab me because my heart isn't even mine anymore.
Yeah,
It's
I
yours."
know.
And I'm like, "Oh my
I
god."
know. Or the scene where he goes like, "I don't wanna marry you," but it's like, "I don't wanna marry you because I don't wanna put someone I love in danger," and I was like, "Okay, you got me." And
You
the part where he always gets jealous of Larkin, and I'm just like, he's just always there to intercept
Yeah.
anything between Caroline and Larkin, and he's just so paranoid that she likes Larkin, and then you know that Vivian likes Larkin, and then
Mhm.
you're just like, and Larkin loves Vivian, and you're just like watching these romance lines unfold, and you're just so happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this romance too also just like has the perfect amount of angst. It's not too much. It never
Yeah,
gets too
not too
much.
much.
It never, in my opinion, doesn't become toxic. It doesn't become like anything just too much. Like it's perfectly paced in terms of like them confessing their feelings for each other and you know, but also there's this like vampire plot line that they're
Yeah.
dealing with and like, you know, there's a lot going on, but I think that she just balanced it so well. Um that like yeah I love this book so much and I think that book two is arguably even better. I don't know, I'd have to reread book two to like really make that decision, but I read book two last year and it was like my top favorite historical that I read
Wow.
last year. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow. Okay, I'm excited to read that one then.
Yeah, it's different for sure, but you also get to see Adrian and Caroline in that book and I just love seeing them as a married couple, as parents. Like it's just great.
Yeah.
um
Okay, so my favorite Teresa book and one of my favorite historical romances that I read this year was called A Kiss to Remember. And that one is a like her series is fairy tale retellings. So then that one involves our hero being the Snow White and how he like well, it's not really Snow White, but like he hits his head, has amnesia, doesn't know who he is, and then she pretends to be his wife and tricks him to being like married to her so that she can save the house that she's living in so that she can provide for her small little family of like little sisters and the servants. And it was so fucking cute. And our hero was the hero of my dreams because
I know
he
you literally your Goodreads review is he's literally perfect. My new book boyfriend, I cried.
he is so perfect because he was such an asshole in the beginning. Then he has amnesia, so he has to play nice, and then he gets back his memories, and you think, "Oh my god, he's an asshole again," but he's not. He's just a really loving and sweet guy, and he's like so in love with her, and he will not let her go, even though like she played all these tricks on him and that like she lied to him. He doesn't care. Like he's just like, I'm so in love with you. So like I don't care. And yeah, I just loved it so much. It made me cry. I was crying so bad when I was reading it.
Yeah,
So
there's something about like again, it's like how good her writing is and like I feel like she also does a good job with developing her characters that like you feel so invested. Like
yeah.
it really like the stakes are high in this. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, we've got some creepy things going on, but like I don't know, like you just can't help but feel so invested in this couple. And I love Adrian so much, and I really like Caroline. I feel like a lot of her like motivations and her as a character, like it all made sense. It wasn't like I feel like maybe sometimes historical heroines can be, I don't know, like too reckless or like too whatever. And like I feel like Caroline's character was just, it made sense,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, so it's a 5 out of 5 for me, obviously.
Solid. We're on
Yeah.
the same side of the range, so that's good.
Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it because I really didn't know. I mean, I knew that you had enjoyed Teresa Medeiros in the past, but
Yeah.
I didn't know, like, because this is obviously a different vibe from her,
Yeah.
so I didn't know what you were gonna think about it. But I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm glad. I think like there's only one that I didn't like from her from all the books I've read from her. But even then, it was just a 3 out of 5, and it was just more disappointing because I read some really good stuff that was like 5 out of 5 from her, and then that one had a synopsis that sounded really good. It was a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it was the same.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I gave it 3 out of 5. No, I gave it 2 out of 5. I lied. It's called The Bride and the Beast, and I gave it 2 out of 5 because the synopsis made it sound so good, and I was like, this is exactly what I needed. And then when I was reading it, I was like, this is not what I wanted from her. So, good thing, like,
Have you
everything else
read have you read Yours Until Dawn? Because that's another one that I've heard is like Beauty and the Beast
Let me see if
inspired. That's one that a lot of our friends have read and they really, really enjoyed it. So I need to get to more of her books. That's what I need to do.
Oh yes. Okay, so I was like, Yours Until Dawn. I think I read that book for Lacey and Jessica's like book club. I don't know if or was it like a book club that I did with Jessica and Samantha? I don't know which one, but I gave that one a 3 out of 5. Yeah. I think I like that one less than the co-hosts that I read it with for that book, the live show, but I still enjoyed it. It wasn't bad.
It was funny. I will say there's moments in both of these books that like the banter is really good. Like she's really good at writing that. For sure. But yeah, does anybody else have any more thoughts about After Midnight? I could go on forever, but I don't want to, I don't want us to be here forever. I think she blended. Yeah. I agree. Cause I was thinking about that as I was reading this, I'm like, are there a lot of books out there that have this exact vibe?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so. Like the paranormal historicals that I know of, like Beck McMaster wrote a lot, like her steampunk London series, that's paranormal. And that's an interesting world and an interesting series. And then I'm trying to think of other. Yeah.
I feel like they're either too dark, they're just dark. They're just dark. They're just very dark and serious and moody. But this one was like not that dark, not that moody, not that serious, but it had those elements in it that set the tone.
I think that what helped with the tone too is that we had characters like Portia, who were so funny and like kind of over the top in a good way, and so like it helped balance the vibe. Because I agree that like most of the time, paranormal historical is probably going to be darker than this. This certainly had dark elements and moments. But, yeah, I love how unique the setting is. She literally has to walk outside on the balcony. I know that was very interesting. Like, yeah, that was really.
Oh, them kissing in the rain. Wait.
Yeah, they were in the rain at some point because they had to go kissing in the rain to like walk around the balcony and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, and then the way that how he described her, like he described his sister as like sunshine and she was moonlight.
I know. Yeah, I really.
And then in the end, he's like, "Never mind. Why did I think she was moonlight? She is sunshine. Like she is." And then she was like, "I would rather walk with you in the darkness than walk alone in sunshine," or some shit. She said in the end, and I was like, "Caroline, you got words, girl. You got words."
They both have words. I'm like,
yeah. I was like, "Girl, you guys are good."
I know. I loved, like, yeah, again, it's her writing. It's
Yeah.
just, it's so good. And you just, like, don't want to stop. I agree with you that there are times towards the beginning, especially the first time that I read this, it felt slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, once she establishes everything and once we're at the castle and all of that, then the pacing definitely speeds up a bit. But at the same time, I don't mind because I love her writing so much.
Yeah.
So,
You just know it's gonna be good though with Teresa. You're just
mhm.
waiting for it to happen and kick in.
One author I know is Brooklyn Ann. I've never heard of this author, but there's the cover.
That's so pretty.
That's really pretty. It does
That's so
not have
pretty.
a great rating on Goodreads. It has a 3.5. But
I feel like most paranormal historical romance don't get good ratings though.
yeah.
Because it throws people off.
Interesting.
It's so pretty. I'll put that as my want to read so I can remember it.
Yeah, this one has an interesting premise. It says that, like, the heroine wants to become a gothic authoress like her idol Mary Shelley to find inspiration for her new story. She breaks into the home of Ian Aston, who's a duke, not knowing she will be coming up against the Lord Vampire of London. Oh, there you go. That sounds interesting.
Oh my god, I'm dying.
I know. Oh.
I'm
Do you have,
coughing
do you have like lozenges, like cough drops?
I do. I should probably go get one. I need to like chug cough medicine or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I recently tried the Robitussin with honey, and that stuff is really good. Like, it doesn't taste great, but it's good stuff.
Robitussin with honey. I never seen that before.
I don't love the taste of honey, so that's like, I'm like, ugh, when I drink it, but like, it's good stuff. It works. It's on the lighter side, and I think people read paranormals, they want dark all the time. I recently read My Roommate is a Vampire. This is a contemporary.
Oh, I like that one.
I loved it because
it was so good.
Because it was funny. Like, it was just like lighthearted. And I love funny paranormal or like funny fantasy novels. You don't see them very often. But like, for instance, Kimberly Lemming's fantasy series. It's so funny. It's so funny. And it's also like cozy high fantasy. And then you've got, like I said, My Roommate is a Vampire. Like, that was just delightful. And
the rating for that one was low.
I know.
You guys suck, okay? Like, that was a good book.
So now I'm definitely going to try this out because it has a low rating, but that doesn't, I mean, we might like it.
It doesn't mean anything anymore for paranormal romances. Maybe it just means we like them. We should look for the low rating paranormal romances. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I love paranormals with a lighter sense of humor. They don't all have to be serious. They don't all have to be
new Meg, I never know how to say her last name, Cabot or Cabot. Like, she has a paranormal romance novel out too. It's with a witch.
Oh.
And she's a shitty witch. Like, she casts a bad spell, and then like everybody's just like, okay, you suck. And then like fast forward 10 years, like the coven wants her as like the person to defend a small town, and she's just like, but I'm a shitty witch. Like, what am I supposed to do? I didn't read it yet.
Like, man, she wasn't, I mean, she was like early 2000s, you know? Like, I'm gonna see if I can find this book that you're talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna go off camera and put myself on mute as I blow my nose, okay?
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I feel like that's very unusual for Meg Cabot to write paranormal. Yes? I'm going to see if I can find this book. Oh, is this it? Okay, so the book that I just found is called Enchanted to Meet You by Meg Cabot. So I didn't know that she was still writing, and I really like this cover. Let me see.
No, she is writing. She wrote 3 contemporary romance novels recently, and I really loved it. I loved it so much. Those were the books that turned me into a Meg Cabot fan. But my friends,
I read the first few like Princess Diaries books, and I really enjoyed those as when I was like a teenager.
I also got a lozenge, so hopefully this will stop my coughing
Oh,
everywhere.
good. So this one it's a witchy rom-com about a plus-size witch who must team up with a handsome stranger to help protect her village from an otherworldly force, but will she be able to protect her heart? So have you read this yet?
No, I only started like the first like chapter. And then
I'm here for this cover alone. Like, I really like that cover.
It's so pretty. I bet
Also,
the rating's
it's my
shit.
favorite color, so I'm here for that. Okay.
Is the rating shit?
It is.
Okay.
3.4.
Her latest books, like the newest ones that she's written, gets really shit reviews, but I love them so much. Like, let me find the title of the book because I don't remember.
I don't know. I want to try it out though.
The Little Bridge Island series. So No Judgments. I really like that one. No Offense was my favorite of that one because it was a librarian who moved from the big city into a small town, and she just wants to like have like this really nice library. And then she falls in love with a sheriff of the town, and the sheriff is a single dad, and he is older. He is 40 something, and she is older too. Like she's like mid 30s, and then his like daughter is already like a teenager. But it was so good. It was just like, I love it so much. Anyways.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember seeing those covers.
Yeah. Lucy hated No Judgments. She's like, oh, it's so dumb. Like, why would people stay during like a hurricane to save animals? And I was like, you have a dog. Like, what do you mean people like me not being empathetic to anybody with dogs? Like, because I have no dog. You should be the one thinking that this plot would make sense.
Right. By the way, this is the book that both Lisa and I really enjoyed.
Yes. I have this special edition Fairy Loot thing.
What does it look like?
Oh, it looks exactly the same except for it has sprayed edges.
Oh, what color is it sprayed?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's purple and pink.
Oh.
It might be still available. Nobody really like, nobody really like kind of
Oh, what is it with paranormal rom-coms? Because this is another one that I was really looking forward to reading, and it has a 3.5 rating.
I saw that too. I think there might be an audiobook for that. I'm not sure.
There usually is. But yeah. It's just so funny because the roommate is a vampire that has low ratings too. Like, I didn't expect much going into that one. So maybe these books are just for us and nobody else.
Yeah, I'm saying like people who are not into fantasy will like it.
Oh, yeah.
Because our standards are already like not like a typical fantasy paranormal reader because we don't normally read it. Maybe. I don't know.
People want light, cozy fantasy, but dark, moody paranormal.
Yeah.
That's actually like true, I think. I think that I feel like definitely most of paranormal romance that's being written is dark, moody, And with light, cozy fantasy, like I know there's a few books out there that like fit that vibe as well. I mean, the Kimberly Lemming books are definitely lighter and have a cozier feel to them. But yeah. So, in terms of November's book, have we decided Forever Your Rogue?
Is that the one that I just like put on to be read? The one with the pretty pink cover and it's 400 pages?
Yes, that's the audiobook came out.
Okay. We can do that.
Cool.
What's the book about?
I'll tell you kind of in a second, but just to reiterate to y'all, this is what we're reading next month or this month. It's November already. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know when we're meeting.
But
oh, you know what? I got vacation at the end of this month, and I'm not doing jack shit, so I can read this book.
There you go.
I'm staring at walls.
Yeah, I knew that there were kids involved. So let me see.
I love kids.
So it's a single mom. She's a single mom. She is now newly widowed. The young mother is determined to finally live on her own terms until a devastating betrayal shatters her hopes for the future. She now needs the help. Let's see. Oh, she needs a husband now. So then Nathaniel, our hero, he's like content with his wayward lifestyle. Charismatic rogue has no interest in marriage or duty. That is until he gets cut off from the Earl. And so now they're like entering a fake engagement. And I've heard nothing. Like literally, I'm scrolling through here and it's all 4 and 5 star reviews. Like people love this book.
Right on.
So yeah, that's going to be our November pick. I really like this cover too. They look so happy. That's so cute. And I think this recently left KU, but I checked it out of KU before it left. It might still be on KU actually. I can't remember, but yeah, the audio recently came out. So
wait, what's the book called? I'm so sorry. I thought it was on my Goodreads. I was looking for it forever, and I didn't save it. I suck. Forever, You're a Rogue. Okay.
Mm-hmm. In-laws want to take her children. Hero is similar to West Ravenel. Okay, that's the vibe that I'm getting for sure. Yeah. I had that checked out on KU and have one. Oh, well, this is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah.
The audiobook's coming out on the 7th.
You can request your library, though, to get copies. That's what I've done in the past. But yeah. So I'm very excited about that. We'll have to chat in terms of when a live show would be, but I'm so excited for this because I was planning on reading it this month anyway, so that's perfect. Okay, I think that's going to be it really for this live show. I think we need to let Lisa get some rest. I think we just need.
This is like the Zoom calls, except for like I can't cough in front of my client, so I just have to hold my breath, and I'm just like.
Oh right, my favorite so far.
That's this book.
Yeah, Linda's been on me about reading this one, so Linda, I'm finally doing it.
I just pre-ordered the audiobook on Audible with my credit, so it's gonna arrive shortly on November 7th, because that's when the audiobook is released.
Oh, that's what it is. Because I had it pre-ordered too.
Okay.
Oh, so that's in a couple days. Okay. So that's exciting. All right. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up for tonight. We are gonna read Forever Your Rogue by Erin Langston for the November pick, but we don't know yet when the live show is going to be. Lisa and I are going to discuss that, and then as usual, I'll post about it on my Instagram and my YouTube. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. We both really enjoyed this book, and if you haven't read it yet, please do. Like, you're missing out. You need to
read more of her books.
Yes, I need to read. I've only read 2 of her books. I need to read.
And it's these 2, like the duet.
It's the duet. Yeah.
Okay, you need to read more of her books. Okay, Rachel too.
Yep, I need to read more. Y'all need to read more of her books. Yeah.
I'm going to try to read most of her books soon.
Yeah.
All right,
guys. Well, y'all have a good rest of your evening, a rest of your night, and we'll see you guys in the next live show. Bye.